Kahala, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kaka Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives to do so. To the scattered hopeful elect across the four corners of the earth, and those among the heathen nations that look like the heathen nations pursuant to Jeremiah 12:9, known as the speckled birds. This is not just a black thing. I am disciple of Pariam, a follower of Great Millstone, coming to you with a lesson in truth and sincerity. Now, this lesson is going to be going over Genesis 9, 18 to 26, essentially kind of like the curse of Ham, and kind of going into some of the teachings of Mormonism. Okay, so with that said, I want to go into read a little bit from the teachings of Joseph Smith, right, and Wikipedia. It says he taught dark skin was a sign of curse from God, and other leaders taught it was a punishment for a premortal unrighteousness. So basically, as of today, you still have several denominations that teach skin color is related to curse or personal or righteousness. And so, you have the thing with them. I think going into the Lamanites of dark skin, which I believe more of the Native Americans here in the U.S. But also, they believe that, that so-called, black people suffer from the curse of Ham, and not understanding that there's a difference between Ham, right, and the Israelites. So. There's a lot of scriptures you get. Like, for example, I'll go ahead and get real quick. This is Song of Solomon's 1 and 5. It says, I am black but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. Now, when we go into the interlinear, it says Strong's H7838 is shachar, right? And that's the word for the black. It says in the Strong's definition, it says properly dusky, but also jetty black, right? Let's see. And then actually, when you go to the Chaldee lexicon, it says use of hair, right? But then it says blackish color of the face, all right? So, there's that. Daniel 7:9 actually giving you a description of the Most High, right? And we know that the Son, it says, if you have seen me, you have also seen the Father, right? So you go to Daniel 7:9, and it reads, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. All right, his throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. And who has that pure wool hair? All right, it's Jake, all day. All right. Matter of fact, you go to Revelations 1, which is the precept to back this up. Revelations 1 and 14. It says his head and his hairs were white like wool, and white as snow, and his eyes were a flame of fire. And the feet, verse 15, Revelation 1 and 15, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. When you get fine brass, you put that in the fire, right? It's gonna be brown, all right? So, but also I want to get the Zonovan. So let's go back to, and also real quick before I read this, this is a fair use. I'm not doing this to make any money. All right. All the content that I'm showing you is content that's been previously broadcasted and shown to public. So yeah, just go take a look at that. And it's all containing original works. Again, this is not to make of any to monetize this out of anyways. But anyways, you're supposed to buy the truth and sell it not. So that's what we do. Okay. So this is Ham, according to the Zondervan Dictionary Bible. It says the youngest son of Noah, and then we're going to go down where it says he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. And then you have the precepts right there, Genesis 10, 6 through 20, which actually goes into that. And matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and read that real quick. This is Genesis 10 and 6. It says, and the sons of Ham, Cush, which is Ethiopia, Mizraim, Egypt, and Put, Libya, and Canaan. Okay? And I was in Ethiopia for a year when I was in the military. They call themselves Cushites. All right? Or the ancient name of that land, that Ethiopia, Eritrea, Djibouti, all that was called the Kingdom of Abyssinia. Okay? You can talk to any Ethiopian, they'll tell you. Okay? So those are the descendants of Ham. So, right? So there's a difference. And it even goes into the curse right there. It says his indecency with his father, lay drunken, has brought a curse upon Canaan. And we're going to go into that in Genesis chapter 9. And we're going to read from verses 18 to 26. All right? So this is Genesis 9. Let's go to the blue letter. All right. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. All right. It tells you right there. It says, these are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. All right. And really, the whole earth was really saved, by, the sons of Noah. All right. It says, and Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. And that word husbandman literally, goes into one who sows seed. Okay. So, farming, but also a husband. Okay. It works both ways. The woman is likened unto the land. And he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. Okay. Verse 21. Let's go to verse 22. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without. So he, it's one thing to, accidentally come across your parents. Oh, you turn your eyes and you didn't mean anything. You're shameful, right? And you're not gonna go tell anybody. That's, it's a shame to do that. So let's go to Leviticus 18. We gotta get the law on this, okay? Verse 7 and 8. It says, the nakedness of the father or the nakedness of the mother shall thou not uncover. She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of the father's wife thou shalt not uncover. It is the father's nakedness. Okay, so yeah, we're not to do that. And actually, it says not to approach near of to any of your kin to uncover their nakedness. So that's period. Okay, it's plain. Let's go back to Genesis 9, verse 23. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backwards and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward. And, they're not trying, they're trying not to look, right? And they saw not their father's nakedness. And, that's probably was Shem's idea, right? He's like, hey, man, let's cover up father. We're not going to look at him. This is a disgrace, right? And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son, and knew what his younger son had done unto him. All right, verse 25, and he said, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall be unto his brethren." All right, and so this is Ham's son. So he didn't curse Ham; he cursed Canaan. Okay, and so Canaan is going to be a servant. And actually, the word Canaan means, when you go to the Strong's Concordance, it's Canaan. It means humiliated, a merchant, traffic. All right, and you see what's going on in that area. They're merchant type people. You got the Suez Canal, and a lot of traffic goes in through there. But they're also humiliated people because they that land wasn't going to be theirs, even though they dwelt there. That land was promised unto Yasharallah, the Prince of Power, the Israelites. Let's see, we go to verse 25, and where it says he cursed Canaan. So we go to Joshua 9 and 23. Let's go there real quick. It says, "Now therefore ye are cursed, and there shall none of you be freed from being bondmen," right? Being servants, right? Or slaves, and hewers of wood and drawers of water for the house of my power. Right? And it shows you that Moses had promised Joshua to give the land was to be given to us, right? And it says, and verse 24, and in the middle of the verse, it says right here, it says, and to destroy all the inhabitants of the land from before you. Therefore, we were sore afraid of our lives because of you, and have done this thing. Okay, so let's go to 1 Kings 9. It's another precept, 20 and 21. And it reads, "And all the people that were left of the Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, which were not the children of Israel, their children that were left after them in the land, whom the children of Israel also were not able utterly to destroy, upon those did Solomon levy a tribute of bond service unto this day." Okay? So he says that Solomon conscripted them for his labor force, right? And this is really kind of going to because the throne of David, because David had actually subdued all those people too, right? So that's why Christians don't want to talk about the throne of David, because that's that which is then is now, and there's no new thing under the sun. David is going to be in that throneship, okay, under Yahweh Shai, obviously. So going back to Genesis, verse 26, and it reads, "And he said, Blessed be the Lord, power of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant." For more reference right there. And you also can get that in Numbers 21, where there's victory over the Canaanites. All right, so we'll read 1 through 3. "And when the king Arad of Canaanite, which dwelt in the land, heard tell that the Israel came by the way of the spies, then he fought against Israel and took some of them prisoners." Verse 2, "And Israel vowed a vow unto the Lord Yahweh, and said, If thou wilt indeed deliver this people unto my hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities." Verse 3, "And the Lord Yahweh," again, this is all capitalized, that's the name of the Lord, right? He is, he to be, he exists. "Hearken to the voice of Israel, and delivered up the Canaanites, and they utterly destroyed them and their cities. And he called the name of the place Hormah." Now, when you get that word Hormah, Strong's H2767 is Haramah, right? Haramah. It means devotion, all right? It's lucky. Let's see. It's a devoted Hormah, a place of in Palestine, right? So yeah. Now, going back, Genesis 9, verse 27, it says, Yahweh, or power, shall enlarge Japhet, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Right? And so there you have really essentially how there's a differentiation between Ham and the Israelites, right? We're not the same people, right? So another one I want to go to. This would be the Exodus 11:7. It says, "But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord Yahweh doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel." And again, I just want to finish this off with Deuteronomy 7, 1 through 6. It says, when the Lord, when Yahweh thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord Yahweh thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, no show mercy unto them. It says, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. All right. And we know that Moses did have his wife, I think it was Miriam, I believe. She was Cushite, Ethiopian. But we know that the seed line of the child is from the father. Okay, Numbers 1 and 2, Numbers 1 and 18 as well. Deuteronomy 4 and 7. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. All right, this is what happened to Solomon. Okay, he had a bunch of wives, different places, but he served. He basically, his heart got taken away by following their gods. So will the anger of the Lord Yahweh be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. It says, ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fires. So he's saying this is what you must do. You must, if you deal with them, okay. For thou art an holy people, right? I mean, separate, Kodash, unto the Lord thy power, Yahweh thy power. And Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Now, that fair use, here I'm about to play a couple clips going to, Mormonism and saying that, supposedly, Jake is from the curse of Ham.
It was called a prophet, dum 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 dum.
I found them! I found them! You're not gonna believe it, everybody!
I found them!
Found what?
Another New Testament of Jesus Christ.
What?
Last night, a Native American angel told me where I could find another testament of Jesus Christ, so I went out to the woods. I dug around all morning where the angel had told me to look. Maybe there isn't anything out here. Wait a tick, what's this? Wow. Inside the stone box, I found the magical seer stones. Under that, I found 4 gold plates written in strange writing.
And it's funny because, Joseph Smith had these seer stones and the gold plates, right? Where are they at? You figure they'd be in like a museum or something because, Mormon Church makes a hell of money. A lot of money. Anyway.
This must be the gospel that Jesus told the Nephites. Well, they were the most amazing things I had ever gazed upon.
Well, so where are they?
Where are what?
The gold plates and the seer stones, where are they?
Exactly.
Oh, well, I was not allowed to take them.
Joseph, dum 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 dum, and showed her pages from the Book of Mormon, dum 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 dum.
And so Joseph Smith put his head into a hat and read to me what the golden plate said. I wrote it all down, and we're going to publish it into a book.
Martin, how do you know he isn't just making stuff up and pretending he's translating off golden plates?
Lucy Harris, smart, 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 smart.
I'm so sorry. It's hilarious.
Why would he make it up?
Martin Harris, dum da dum.
All right, here. I'm gonna hide these pages. If Joseph Smith really is translating off of golden plates, then he'll be able to do it again. But if Joseph Smith is making it all up, then the new translations will be different from these.
Okay, fine. I bet he'll have no problem.
Lucy Harris, smart, smart, smart. Martin Harris, dumb. So Martin went on back to Smith, said the pages had gone away. Smith got mad and told Martin he needed to go pray. Dum, 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 dum.
Look, I'm sorry about losing the pages we worked on, Joe, but I'm ready to write it all down again if you translate from the plates.
I would love to, Martin. Except, I just had a vision. And the Lord said he is very angry with me for letting you take those pages.
He is?
Dum, 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 dum.
Yes, he is so mad that he will never let me translate from the plate of Lehi again. He said we must now translate from the plate of Nephi. So it will be the same basic story, but written a little differently.
Wow! If God got angry with you, then you must be telling the truth.
Dum, 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 dum.
All right, Martin, let's get to work.
Yeah, and he literally looked into a hat and was making these translations, and Martin Harris was writing this down. So, and the reason why I did this because I just got back from Puerto Rico, the island of Borinquen, and just when I was leaving, I happened to see a couple of these missionaries walking around, and they have a huge church they built in San Juan, right? And it's just like it's asinine, man, for these any Ephraimite or Puerto Ricans that are listening to this lesson, man, and if they're following that, they need to repent and get the hell out of there. But again, Ephraim is likened unto idols, like it says in the scriptures. But man, it's just debe que pensar, you know what I'm saying? Like this is you better think, like this is crazy. But we really are part of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, but with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the elders, great apostles, great millstone. Poem Yasharella, a bubble ball to his wicked kingdom. Shalom.